Do you know the black chemist Percy Julian? Percy Julian was born April 11, 1899. He was a pioneering chemist, and his academic research into chemical synthesis led to medicinal drugs used to treat glaucoma and arthritis. He is regarded as one of the most influential chemists in American history. Percy Julian was born in Birmingham, Alabama. He was one of 6 children. His father, James Sumner Julian, was a railroad mail clerk, and his mother, Elizabeth Lena Adams, was a school teacher who stressed that education offered a path for a better life for African Americans. In 1916, he was accepted to DePaul University in Greencastle, Indiana. Upon graduation from DePaul in 1920, he was selected class valedictorian. He was then awarded the Austin Fellowship in Chemistry and earned a scholarship to study chemistry at Harvard University. At the time, no African American had ever attained their master's degree in chemistry from Harvard. Julian excelled, but even through this success, he was unable to obtain a position as a teaching assistant at any major university because of the perception that white students would refuse to learn under a black instructor. So he started teaching at West Virginia State College for Negroes. In 1929, Julian would receive his fellowship to travel to Vienna, Austria to pursue his PhD. While in Vienna, Julian developed a fascination for the chemistry of plants and their properties and capabilities. Focusing on organic chemistry, in 1929, common Australian shrub, the Cordalis calva, was effective in treating pain and heart palpitations. Julian was tasked with isolating the active ingredient and identifying its chemical structure. This was his challenge to earn his PhD, and while the answers came slowly, the answers would come. And in 1931, he would receive his PhD. He would return to the United States and back to DePaul. He would work with his associate from Vienna, Dr. Joseph Pickel, on the synthesis of physostigmine, a drug used to treat glaucoma. Julian would become internationally hailed for this achievement. In 1935, Julian would accept a position at the Glidden Company as the chief chemist and director of the Sawyer Product Division. Glidden Company was the leading manufacturer of paints and varnish, and Julian was tasked with developing compounds from soy-based products that would be used to make paints and other products. He also developed products like an aerofoam, which was used as a flame retardant by the United States military. He would next inexpensively develop male and female hormones from soybeans. These hormones would prevent miscarriages in pregnant women and be used to fight cancer and other ailments. Later, he would create a synthetic version of cortisone, a product used to relieve pain sufferers of rheumatoid arthritis. Real cortisone was expensive, but with Julian's discovery, millions of sufferers around the world found relief at a reasonable price. His work was so significant that in 1950, the city of Chicago named him the Chicagoan of the Year. Julian would then leave the Glidden Company to establish Julian's Laboratories, which specialized in producing synthetic cortisone. He discovered that wild yams in Mexico were even more effective than the soybeans in some of his products. He then opened up Laboratories Julian de Mexico in Mexico City, and they cultivated the yams and shipped them to Franklin Park for refinement. In 1961, he sold Franklin Park to Smith, Klein, and French for $2.3 million, which is $21 million in today's money. In 1975, Percy Julian would pass away from liver cancer. Percy Julian spent years struggling for respect in his field and in his community, but later he received countless awards and honors, including 15 honorary degrees, as well as authoring and co-authoring more than 160 publications.